The next thing we want to talk about is constructor. A constructor is a special method in any object-oriented programming language, which gets called whenever an object of a class is initialized. And it's totally different in Solidity. Actually, in Solidity, the constructor declaration inside the smart contract is used to be invoked only once when the contract is deployed, and it basically initializes the contract state, and a default constructor is created by the compiler if there is no explicitly defined constructor like any other OP language. Now let's talk about how we create a constructor in Solidity. Well, it is defined using the constructor keyword, followed by an optional access modifier. The constructor can either be internal or public. An internal constructor is used to mark a contract as abstract. The syntax of a constructor is similar to that of a regular function, but with no function name. But we can have constructors in inheritance. So there are two ways to call a parent contracts constructor in Solidity. The first method is direct initialization, which involves specifying the parent constructor parameters in the child constructor using the syntax like I write here. Parent argument 1, argument 2. So the second method is indirect initialization, where you can pass encoded parameters to the parent constructor, something like this: base string API code pair 1, pair 2. This is another way of doing it. So this allows you to encode complex data types and pass them as constructor arguments to the parent contract. We can also take a quick look into this example here of a constructor. As you can see, this is how it's defined, and it's used for initialization as a contract. So after deployment of this contract, when we execute get message function, it will return hello world because it's been initialized like this when we're deploying. Constructors play an important role in smart contracts as they allow for the definition of parameter values at runtime and can restrict method calls. But Solidity does not support constructor overloading, which means only one constructor can be defined at a time. That's one of the main differences in constructor definition between Solidity and some other programming languages. To show the importance of constructors, you can take a look at the very popular smart contracts like ERC20 or ERC721 to see what a key role they play in initializing the values there. We will also take a look at them in the later lessons.